welcome you all, our invited schools, our guest speakers, our audience. Welcome to this conference. Actually, when we talk about music, basically a lot of people just see music as something that people do because they are gifted or talented. True or true? Yeah, so there's a lot of misconception about music. People see music as something we just do, like I said, and then music is also something we use for time out. You know, when we want to kill time, let's get a musician and then let's just kill time. You know, but that is not true. Music is way much more than that. Do you know that your movies, how many of us like watching movies? Do you know that you never enjoy your movies without music in it? Right? You can never enjoy your favorite film without music. You can't enjoy the radio station or even the news station. You can't even enjoy it if you take away music out of it. So music is part of everything that we do. So music is much more than just something we do because we are gifted or talented. Music is, especially in the African setting, music is the #1 tool that we use for transmission of culture. That if you want to learn a new language, it's easier by starting learning the songs from the language. Then gradually you begin to start speaking the language. Music is used for courage during war. How many of you have noticed that when soldiers, when they're about to enter into battle, they start singing, they start chanting? Because music gives them the courage to face their fears. So music is just beyond, way bigger than what we do. Music can be used for healing and therapy. Music provides job, creates more job than any other industry in the world. I can stand here to say that. If you are not an engineer, the engineers only work in the engineering field. But musicians work in every field of life. If you have one musician, for instance, you will have a bodyguard working for him. You will have a fashion designer designing the clothes for the musician. You will have instrumentalists playing for him. You will have bouncers, protection, working for him. You will have a manager. You will have a stage manager. You will have, that's just from one musician. So music provides more jobs than any other industry that you think. So why are we not giving music much more attention, especially in our schools? Why is it compulsory to write maths and physics and English and not write music? Why do we all study chemistry and we don't study music in our schools? Instead, we use music for club and society in our schools. When music can actually equip our children and give them the opportunity to excel in life much more than some of these subjects that are taught. I think I can guess some of the answers. I think firstly, it's probably because our education experts don't really think that music is that much important. I think poor funding is also one of the issues that we have because music is a very expensive business in terms of having equipment, maintaining them, having instruments, even having a music studio in your school. It's really expensive. So a lot of people just, you know what, let's just leave this thing. Let's focus on maths, English, because there is only a board and a teacher that stands to teach. And I think there's also inadequate teachers to teach music in schools. Even though we have our universities graduating millions and millions of teachers, music teachers, every year. I am one of them, but I've never been to the school to teach music. But I'm here doing my parts now. If you go to the University of Jos, how many of you know that there's a department of music in the University of Jos? If you go to FCE Machine, there's a department of music. You go to Obafemi Awolowo University, there's a department of music. Lagos State University, every year they are graduating thousands of students, music graduates, but many of them don't go to the classroom to teach music. And this is why we are here. This is why the Future Entertainment Foundation was founded, is to bring awareness, to say, you know what, music can be used for so much than just listening when we want to have fun. There's a lot of crisis in our state. Do you know how if the government can invest in music alone, we can bring peace in 1 week? I can guarantee you that. We'll bring absolute total peace in this state in 1 week using the power of music. A lot of people are wondering, why did the Yoruba nation go to school more than every other people? They have more lawyers, more this and more that. Some people say, give all kind of reasons, but the honest truth is that in the late 1990s and the early 80s, the Yoruba community built a campaign around music to say, if you go to school, your shoe will be higher. I don't know how many of you know this song. Batamia du ko ka timba kawemi. Batamia du ko ka toba kawere. Bataria du sherere. It was a massive campaign. What the song is simply saying is that if you go to school, your shoe will be high, and when you are matching it, you making coin. But when you don't go to school, your shoes will be slippers. And they used that in the 80s. And a lot of people were going to school. Why? Because they want their life to be better. Because if I go to school, I'll have a better life. That's how powerful music can be, and that's why the Future Entertainment Foundation is found. To be able, one of our major goals is to make music a powerful tool for social change. But we cannot do this alone, ladies and gentlemen. We need your help. We need you to partner with us. We need you to support us online or offline. We need you to donate to us. One of the major things we'll be doing, especially to us as we go towards next year, is to find schools who are really studying music. We're already in contact with some of them, and see how we can be able to donate instruments to those schools to foster what they do with the education of music. A lot of people go to IDP camps. They give them shoes and clothes and food. Then by the time you go and leave them, they'll be there alone all by themselves, and they'll start crying again and feeling hurtful. But imagine going to an IDP camp and leave them with a musical instrument. Leave them with some flutes. Leave them with some drums. Leave them with some guitars. When you are not there, when they are sad, when they take that instrument and play, they feel okay. That's how powerful music can be. And this is what we want to do. So there's so much we're working in schools and all of that. For you to know more about the Future Entertainment Foundation, just visit tfefoundation.org. www.tfefoundation.org. So once again, thank you and welcome for coming. My name is Inusa. God bless you.